Yo, what is up guys? It is Samool back again with another Epic 7 should you pull video for you guys today. And today we're going to be talking about whether it is worth pulling for the unit that you see on your screen here, Violet, as well as if his artifact, Violet's Talisman, is worth purchasing with your Powder of Knowledge from the Powder of Knowledge shop. Before we get started with this video though guys, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram already, make sure you guys follow me there. We are doing a giveaway at 20k subscribers on YouTube. It is very easy to participate. All you have to do is follow me on Instagram and like the post that I upload there once I do hit that 20k subscriber milestone. That being said, Violet. So Violet is an Earth Thief. He is a very powerful unit outright, right? He's very good in PvP. If you guys didn't know already, he's very highly contested in World Arena. I guess not as much anymore, but he's still usable in World Arena. But he's very good on defense teams, right? You're going to see him all the time in Arena defense as well as Guild Wars defense, because you're going to see he has innate evasion, which makes it so that there's an RNG factor and you can steal away wins on your defense team. And he's also just a very powerful unit overall, very strong bruiser. So if you guys don't know what his skills do, his S3 is a single target attack. It will consume all of your focus. So you're going to notice that he does use a focus bar. So if you're fighting against like a Solitaria, you won't be able to generate that focus. And you're going to see that the damage dealt will increase proportional to the amount of focus that you use, right? When you do have max focus, you're going to actually reset the cooldown of this S3. Primarily guys, you're mostly going to use this S3 only when you have 5 focus, because you're going to see that when your S3 is up, you're going to have 35% chance to evade, and after you evade, you'll counterattack with your S1. Definitely want to make sure like 99% of the time that you're using this with 5 focus, because you definitely want that passive, that evasion passive and that counter attack passive at the second part of his S3 is the big reason why he is so strong. There's going to be some situations where you can use the S3 without full focus, but primarily you definitely want to only use this when you do have that 5 focus. Now we have his S2. You're going to see his S2 will grant him 3 focus, so a lot of focus from his S2. You're also going to see it is a 2 debuff cleanse from himself, and will also grant him perception for 3 turns before recovering 15% HP, and this will grant you an extra turn, right? So if you're at 2 focus, what you can actually do is you can S2 and then S3 right after, and you'll still have your S3 up and have that passive, right? Perception is going to be a critical hit chance buff and a critical hit damage buff by 15%. That cannot be dispelled. Now because of this, some people do run their Violets on 85% crit chance instead of 100. Personally, I still like to run mine on 100% chance, or at least like 90-95ish, just because when you don't have your perception up, if you do counterattack before you get your turn off on Violet, you might have that chance to not crit, and that can be really bad in some situations. Next we have his S1 guys, Graceful Cut. This will give him 1 focus. You're also going to see that if you actually use this when it's not Violet's turn, so on a counter attack or a dual attack, you'll actually get 2 focus. It is a single target attack that has a chance to decrease attack for 1 turn. Now you can soul burn this to increase that effect chance to 100% and decrease attack of the target for 2 turns. Not that strong of a soul burn. Most of the time you're not going to really be soul burning this. So as you can see from his kit, he has a lot of single target damage but no AoE damage. He's going to really struggle against units like Spectre Tenebria, anything that can hide in stealth, because he can't pop units out of stealth. Even like Landy he's very bad against. Solitaria is a very hard counter, and because he does use evasion, Zahak is a very good answer to him as well. So yeah, most of the time guys, you're going to want to pick him in, pretty much you can pick him in a lot of situations, even though he has counters, right? They're not really like super hard counters besides like Zahak, but in World Arena you can always ban that Zahak, and Zahak's a unit which you really need like a perfect team comp around for him to actually work. But in defense teams he's also always very good, just because of the fact that he does have that RNG factor, because evasion is really annoying, right? 35% is really nice, and if you run him on a evasion artifact such as his own artifact, or more commonly Moonlight Dreamblade, which is actually a 4-star thief artifact that is very easy to obtain because it is a 4-star artifact, right? You're going to see that you can actually grant him 55% evasion. That means that if an ice unit attacks him guys, he'll have 100% evasion, right? 55 from his skill and the artifact, and then another 50 because he's at an elemental advantage. So that'll be 105, which obviously will be 100. So any ice unit that opens against him will always miss, and you'll always proc that counter. So Rands, whenever they attack into Violet, will always miss on the Violet, and Violet will counter. Payra's same thing, right? You also see like Shoes, Rems, stuff like that. So Violet's a very powerful pick against ice units. Violet is a very common answer to Cleave, as you're going to see, because he does have that RNG built in, and even though he's an Earth unit, guys, he's a very good answer to Summertime Asteria's Cleaves, especially if you run him on immunity because of the fact that he cannot be hit with those bombs with that immunity buff, because, Rand can't strip him, right? Usually with Summertime Asteria, who do you pair her with? It's going to be Ran, sometimes even Peyra, and those are both ice units, and since they cannot land on Violet, he's going to always dodge the strip and keep that immunity buff and be very annoying to deal with if you're running that Summertime Asteria Cleave into him. So if you have the bookmarks to spare, guys, I definitely recommend picking up this unit. Very strong in PvP, and he does have really good PvE usage, right? You can use him, like I said, for late game PvE content. He's very good in KDs and even Light Expedition, and Ancient Inheritance, he's very good in Automaton Tower. He's also very good as well. So yeah, that being said, that's pretty much it for Violet, guys. Now let's talk about his artifact, Violet Talisman. So this is going to be Violet's artifact that will be featured in the Powder of Knowledge shop for 240 powder. It is Violet Talisman, has his name in the artifact name and his artwork, right? You're going to see that it is going to be an attack boost and an evasion boost at the start of every turn, and this can stack up to 3 times. So this artifact is actually very, very good on evasion units because of the fact that you can actually get up to 30% evasion and attack as well, while, Moonlight Dreamblade, right, one of the most used evasion artifacts, will only give you up to 20% here, as you see in this maximum break copy, right? Other artifacts to give you dodge, such as Shepherd of the Hollow, will also give you only 20%, but this artifact goes up to 30. But that being said, there is a big problem with this artifact, right? And that is going to be that to make sure that this is going to be better than the other dodge artifacts, you need this to be max limit break, so it's going to be a whale artifact. Personally, I do not recommend, buying this from the Powder of Knowledge shop, especially right now, because it is going to be 240 powder. If you really want to use this artifact, I think it's better to wait for it to be in the normal rotation for 180 powder. And if you have a lot of powder to spare and you really want this artifact, then you can max it out there. But, just getting one copy for 240 is not worth it. And honestly, not even that great. You're only going to really use this on Green Violet, which I think, even Moonlight Dreamblade is just a lot better. And, like, Remnant Violet can also use it as well. And this artifact's cool and all, but personally, I don't think it is worth dropping so many Sky Stones into summoning for this, or even like Powder of Knowledge once it does come in the rotation. So, this artifact is safe to skip. You're way better off using the cheaper option, especially if you're not like a heavy spender in Moonlight Dreamblade. This artifact is an amazing 4-star artifact. You can use this on any single thief that wants to use some dodge, right, such as Violet and even like Remnant Violet as well. And you'll get really, really good results. So that's pretty much it for this should you pull, guys. Just to summarize, Violet, very good unit for PvP. PvE, he does have some late game usage. You should definitely pick him up if you have the bookmarks to spare. Very powerful unit. Violet Talisman, though, his artifact, personally, I would recommend skipping this. It is a heavy investment into something that's only slightly better in some situations than a 4-star counterpart. So definitely don't buy this, guys. It's definitely too expensive. You're way better off using another artifact. That being said, guys, I hope this video helped you guys out. And like I said, make sure you guys participate in the giveaway that I'm doing at 20k subs. It's just free stuff. Literally all you have to do is follow me and then like a post. That's pretty much it. Yeah, Instagram should be in the description box or, at the start of the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.